Hey, this is Idea Coaches. Now, as promised back in my introduction video like 2 or 3 months ago, I told you guys I was going to be sharing stories with you which I've created. Now, I've got this idea and I'm going to call it Brain Share. Check it out. As a philosophy major in college, I had to read a lot of cognitive science books. I remember reading an article that was written between the mid-1950s and early 1960s about these two scientists, Robert Thomson and James V. McConnell, who conducted experiments to see if memory could be transferred chemically through RNA by using worms. This seemed like a breakthrough at the time until it was experimented on higher life forms such as rats and fish, which did not produce the desired results with any consistency. But I was thinking this would be a great movie or TV series concept. Two American scientists, both from well-to-do backgrounds, go to Southeast Asia for a vacation. And they see human trafficking firsthand, and one guy decides to create an orphanage for those escapees and any others seeking refuge. While back in the States, he discovers a way to chemically transfer memory in humans. He thinks that with all the world's ills going on, someone should do something about it, but they need the know-how first. He decides to use children in his experiments. He has them each study 3 or 4 subjects, language, mathematics, and so on, and keeps them, for the most part, sealed off from the rest of the world, while transferring the memory into himself in which they gained. He becomes addicted to this process, doing this memory transfer even though there is little need for him to do so, because at a certain level, the knowledge he gains have a point of diminishing returns, because after all, these are children. Adults pose too much of a risk, something I'm going to get into later. The other scientist and protagonist finds out about this and gets mad. He is outwitted by the antagonist, his former friend, because of all the knowledge that he has gained. Then the antagonist shows a darker side of himself. Some of the children at the orphanage have been sexually assaulted before arrival. The antagonist takes 2 of these kids, one boy and one girl, and have thugs systematically rape them and drug them. He uses these kids' biochemical memories to inject into the wife of the hero. This causes her to become temporarily and instantaneously catatonic by experiencing all the horrors of bad drugs and rape without doing anything to her sexual organs. This is why the antagonist only uses kids he screens, because it lowers the risk of getting a trauma victim. Within the education cells of the orphanage, the children are taught that it is good to sacrifice oneself for the good of others. Thus, he is becoming self-perpetuating his own godhood and consciously reinforcing his subconscious to eliminate his guilt. After a series of action scenes, the hero approaches the bad guy and chemically transfers his memory into the bad guy. The bad guy looks at the good guy and kills himself. Okay, guys, so let me just put some barriers on how this story would take place. I don't think it would ever fit in any sort of like mainstream comic book company like Marvel or DC. And the thing is this. Yes, this thing could probably happen like in the future or with other people having superpowers. But I think like the craziest it should be with something like that Deus Ex game where people could, transfer their own organic body parts for, cybernetics that's making them, run faster, lift heavy things, have better eyesight, things of that nature. So, that concludes that. This is the first real idea, Cochise. And I plan on doing some more different movie ideas, book ideas in the upcoming future. I'm just so glad that I had a small break from the sheer amount of MMA that's been going on. Thanks to everyone who's been watching my Weighing on the Weight Classes series. My hits have just been going up and up and up. And even though the comments have not all been positive, hey, you're still watching. Take care.